Hana, and as their eyes meet, they feel the shocking sensation as he realizes she is also one of his soulmates. Hana instantly falls in love with him, asking him to go out with her, and Inda sees him considering it, so she reminds him that Hana is Hakari's mother. Hana explains that she was just joking.
Anime lovers, welcome back to Anime Snap Recap, where every epic story gets snappy and exciting, jaw-dropping anime moments and goosebump-worthy scenes. So buckle up and hit that like button if you're ready to relive the hype, and don't forget to subscribe for your weekly dose, which drops every 2 days of anime recap bombs. Let's snap into it. The story starts when a boy named Rentaro confesses to his crush. She tells him she likes him, but she feels sick at the idea of dating him. Rentaro is devastated by this rejection, and his friend walks him home. We learn that this was actually Rentaro's 100th rejection, and his friend teases him about it. He's surprised Rentaro has asked out 100 girls, especially since they've only just finished middle school. Rentaro remembers the first girl he confessed to. It was when he was only 8 months old. He's always dreamed of having a girlfriend, and his friend doesn't get how someone like Rentaro, with good looks and grades, keeps getting turned down. This makes Rentaro even more upset, but his friend tells him good luck in high school and heads off. Rentaro stops by a shrine and prays to the god of love, hoping to find a girlfriend in high school. Suddenly, he hears a voice, and a face pops out of the donation box. A man claiming to be the shrine's god appears, wings and all, and tells Rentaro he'll meet his soulmate in high school. But not just one, he's destined to meet 100 soulmates, so he'll have lots of options. Rentaro is thrilled, but he warns that if it's a lie, he'll come back and destroy the shrine. 1 month later, Rentaro heads to his first day of high school. On the way to class, he bumps into 2 girls, Inda and Hakari. As their eyes meet, they feel a spark, and Rentaro wonders if these are the soulmates the god mentioned. When he helps them up, Hakari suddenly fakes an ankle injury and asks Rentaro to help her to the nurse's office. Rentaro starts crying, thinking he's hurt his soulmate. Hakari becomes more attracted to him, seeing him as kind and caring. Inda, feeling jealous, also pretends she twisted her ankle. Rentaro blames himself and starts hitting his head. The girls stand up, concerned, but quickly go back to faking. Rentaro takes both to the nurse, but it feels more like he's the one being carried. As they walk, the girls fight over him, each clinging to one of his arms. Once at the nurse's office, Rentaro introduces himself and learns they're all in the same class. 2 other girls pass by and mention a field of pink 4-leaf clovers in the courtyard. They say if you confess with one of these clovers, the person is guaranteed to say yes. Suddenly, Inda and Hakari run off, and Rentaro realizes their legs were fine all along. 3 hours after school ends, Rentaro stays back to help a teacher search for his lost contact lens. As he gets ready to leave, he wonders if he'll see the girls again. Then, in the courtyard, he spots Inda searching for a 4-leaf clover. He checks in on her, and she's startled to see him. She tries to act like she wasn't looking for anything. Rentaro notices Hakari isn't there and offers Inda a drink. She seems too shy to take it, so Rentaro assumes she thinks he's weird since they just met. But then she grabs the drink and says she'll finish it, so it won't be wasted. He suggests she go home since it's late. She tells him not to order her around, but still thanks him. Rentaro realizes she's actually sweet. Suddenly, Inda runs off, and Hakari shows up. Rentaro offers her a drink too, but Hakari has something else in mind. She wants an indirect kiss and asks if they can share, pretending she can't finish one on her own. Rentaro figured this would happen, so he brought a smaller drink just for her. Still, she says she won't be able to finish it. Rentaro takes a sip and gives her the drink, but Hakari gets flustered and spills it. Rentaro thinks she's upset because she must have really liked the drink. He offers his handkerchief to help clean up, but instead of using it, Hakari grabs his hand and confesses her love. She says she had to do it quickly because there's someone else who likes him. Rentaro is overjoyed. This is his first ever confession. But before he can respond, Inda comes back. She had gone to buy drinks to repay him, but gets angry when she sees Hakari confessing. She tells Hakari to wait her turn. Rentaro is shocked that Inda likes him too. At first, she denies it, but then she ends up confessing as well. The girls both ask who Rentaro is going to choose. He tells them to wait until the next day. That night, Rentaro thinks hard about both of them, but he just can't decide. He returns to the shrine and asks the god what to do. The god tells him both Inda and Hakari are his soulmates, so it's impossible to choose one. Rentaro wonders what people normally do if they meet two soulmates. The god says that usually doesn't happen, most people only get one. He then confesses that when Rentaro was born, he made a mistake. He had been watching TV and accidentally assigned Rentaro 100 soulmates instead of just one. Rentaro feels doomed. But the god says things could get even worse. If a soulmate doesn't get to be with the one they love, they'll die of heartbreak. Rentaro imagines one of the girls dying, and the thought makes his decision even more painful. Suddenly, Rentaro comes up with an idea. Maybe he could reject both girls, but secretly date them at the same time without the other knowing. The next morning, both girls meet up with Rentaro and are surprised to see him so serious. He finally speaks up and says he wants to date both of them. Inda is stunned, and it turns out Rentaro couldn't bring himself to lie. He confesses that he truly loves them both and promises to do everything in his power to make them the happiest girls ever. The girls prepare to reject him, but Rentaro suddenly pulls out 2 pink 4-leaf clovers. He spent all night searching for them. Inda teases him for believing such superstition, but Hakari reminds her they both believed in it earlier. Inda doesn't want to be part of any two-timing, but Rentaro says he brought the flowers because he saw how hard they tried to find them and wanted to make them smile. The emotional gesture overwhelms them. Hakari agrees to date him, thinking being with him, even if shared, would make her happier than getting rejected. Inda refuses to let Hakari have him all to herself, so she agrees to date him too. Hakari playfully mocks her for changing her mind. Rentaro promises to treasure them both, but deep down, he's now thinking about the 98 other soulmates he hasn't even met yet. The next day, Rentaro is overflowing with happiness now that he finally has a girlfriend, or in his case, girlfriends. But the funny thing is, he's just talking to a pole. The girls arrive and Inda is creeped out by him, chatting with an object. Rentaro explains he was just too excited to contain his feelings. Inda says he can talk to her instead, but quickly gets too flustered to follow through. Hakari takes the opportunity to grab Rentaro's hand. The simple touch overwhelms him, and Inda, getting jealous, insists on holding his other hand. Even though she pretends she doesn't like it, the three of them walk to school happily together. Once they arrive, they see a student running while being chased by the vice principal. Hakari points out that this vice principal is infamous for her strictness. If she sees anyone running on campus, she'll chase them down, and if she catches them, she'll give them a kiss. Rentaro shudders, thinking that might leave lifelong trauma. Hakari adds that the vice principal used to be a top sprinter, so no one's ever escaped her. Then Hakari curiously asks if Rentaro has ever kissed anyone before. He admits he hasn't. They're his first girlfriends after all. Hearing that, both Hakari and Inda realize that whoever kisses him first will get his first kiss. During lunch, the three spend time together. While Inda is distracted by a cat, Hakari seizes the moment and feeds Rentaro an egg roll. He enjoys it so much that he starts crying, which makes Inda jealous. She reveals she made cookies for him too, but when she tries to feed him, she accidentally jabs his eye. Even so, Rentaro eats the cookie and compliments it. Not to be outdone, Hakari pulls out a snack, but the edges are already broken. She wonders how she can give it to him without using her hands, so she ends up feeding him with her mouth. Seeing her so close stuns Rentaro. She looks too adorable. Hakari starts nibbling the snack to get closer to him, and Inda tries to join in, but ends up poking his other eye. As Inda leans in, her hair brushes Rentaro's face, making him sneeze and causing the snack to break. Inda notices his eyes are red and assumes he might have a cold. Suddenly, she hugs him and says the best way to recover is to pass the cold to someone else. She leans in for a kiss, but Hakari stops her, arguing that they're not even sure if he's sick. She claims that in her family, checking temperatures with lips is tradition. But Inda cuts her off and tries to knock Rentaro out to perform mouth-to-mouth. Hakari shoves her away, and the two argue, both trying to win Rentaro's first kiss. Rentaro finally realizes they're both just trying to kiss him. Inda denies it, but her face says otherwise. He's stunned. They actually want to kiss him. Since he's also been hoping for it, he offers to kiss them. But Hikari says he must choose who gets kissed first, which starts another fight. Rentaro steps in and says he already has a plan, one he thought of the day before because he was too excited to sleep. He wanted to find a way to make both girls happy, so he came up with a fair method. His idea is to keep whoever gets the first kiss a secret so both girls can believe they were the first. That way, each kiss will count as his first. They're unsure how they'll keep it hidden, so Rentaro explains. He'll wear a blindfold and cover his ears. The girls will roll a die to randomly choose who stands where, and he'll kiss them one by one without knowing who is who. Afterward, the girls will shuffle positions again. That way, he'll never find out which one was kissed first. Hikari thinks the plan is genius, but Inda is skeptical and worries Rentaro might cheat. To ease her concerns, Rentaro reveals his final safeguard. They'll make a pinky promise. Inda thinks it's silly, but Rentaro swears that if he breaks the promise, he'll stick a needle in his eye. That finally convinces them, and the plan begins. Just then, a gust of wind lifts Inda's skirt, and a cat suddenly grabs onto it. Inda mistakenly thinks it's Rentaro doing something perverted and kicks him. As he's lying there, she starts angrily beating him up. When her headphones fall out, Inda realizes it was actually the cat that scratched her. They decide to give the kiss plan another try, but every single attempt is ruined by random mishaps. Everyone ends up frustrated, and Inda says the plan was flawed from the start. Hikari gets upset at this, and the two begin arguing again about who Rentaro truly belongs to. To stop them, Rentaro blames himself, saying it's because he lacks experience. Then he suddenly runs off and shouts for the vice principal. She instantly appears to punish him for running. She pins him down, and Rentaro is terrified, but Inda steps in and stops her. Hikari pretends she sees a school inspector, which panics the vice principal, and she quickly crawls away. The girls ask Rentaro why he did something so extreme, and he replies that it's because he loves them both and doesn't want them to fight. He'd rather lose his first kiss than see them unhappy. Hearing that, the girls say it's okay if he kisses the other. Neither wants his first kiss to be wasted. Rentaro is surprised, but they know he truly loves them. Touched, Rentaro hugs them both and comes up with another idea, a three-way kiss. He wasn't sure they'd agree at first, but seeing them on better terms now, he thinks it might work. Embarrassed by the idea of kissing each other, the girls hesitate but eventually agree. The three of them then share their first kiss. The next day, Rentaro and the girls are in the library. Hikari searches for a cookbook so she can cook more for Rentaro. Inda fights her over a book on winning a guy through food. Rentaro tells them to stop and reminds them they've already kissed. The girls blush. While looking for a new book, Rentaro meets a new girl who gives him an electrifying feeling. He wonders if she might be another soulmate. She backs away and he realizes she's the school librarian. She doesn't talk, but instead uses phrases in a book to communicate. Rentaro is confused, but assumes she's just being quiet because they're in a library. She asks what book he wants, and Rentaro mouths that he wants something funny. She asks why he's not speaking, and he throws the question back at her. She apologizes and tries to get someone else to help him, but Rentaro insists she helps. He asks her to recommend a romance with a happy ending. She begins selecting books, but surprises him by picking out a massive stack. She apologizes, telling him to just choose a few, but he says he'll take all of them since she chose them for him. However, at the checkout, they find out his library card isn't ready. He can't borrow any books. Seeing this, she offers him one of her personal books. Rentaro gratefully accepts and asks for her name. She shows her ID, and her name is Shizuka. That night, Rentaro reads the book. It's about a princess and a knight. The knight swears loyalty to her and protects her from a dragon. They fall in love, but the princess is promised to another prince. The knight runs to her, hoping they can change their destiny. Rentaro roots for them, but the book ends on a cliffhanger. The next day, Rentaro sees Shizuka again, and she gives him the sequel. Grateful, he takes it, thinking he should repay her. He buys her a drink, and they sit outside to talk. Shizuka tells him it's her favorite story, and Rentaro is impressed by how well she knows it. She can find any phrase to use for talking. She's just glad Rentaro doesn't think she's strange. revealing she's never had a real friend before. Hearing this, Rentaro gets an idea. He asks her to lend him the first book again. Days later, Shizuka brings him the third book, but Rentaro doesn't show up. As she walks around school, she sees him with Hakari and Inda. They notice how tired he looks and ask what's going on. He says he's been staying up late. The girls wonder what he's been doing, but he keeps yawning. Suddenly, Hakari kisses him to give him her energy. Rentaro hugs her, calling her an angel. Not wanting to be left out, Inda says she has energy too, but ends up headbutting him instead. Watching this, Shizuka realizes Rentaro already has girlfriends. She thinks he's probably too busy to read her books. She remembers how other girls mocked her for how she communicates. Even her mum thinks she's strange, begging her to speak normally. She believes no one would want to spend time with someone like her, but then Rentaro shows up. He tells her he's finally ready to repay her for the books. But the video cuts off right there, leaving things on a cliffhanger. The video wraps up with the usual sign-off. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.